Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down. Alison Mack. Alison Mack played Chloe Sullivan in Smallville. We've covered this before. She was arrested by the FBI for luring women and young girls into a sex cult. But how does she do this? Well, this is how. And I mean, we're going to watch this recruitment video that she recorded to lure females into this. And we're going to discuss what kind of condition she was in while she was doing this.
It's the most challenging thing I've ever done because it consists of working with a group of people in a way that is totally interdependent, meaning we're all working together and no one is ever punished and no one is ever told that they're wrong or they're bad.
Well, that's a lie, isn't it, Alison? You were involved with a sex cult that was branding, where you made these young girls, these women, into sex slaves, and they were being punished big time. It's funny how a lie about something that people don't even understand. She knows it. People are not being punished, but inadvertently, they of course are punished. Now, it's very interesting what Alison knew about this place when she first started. Was she conned? Was she manipulated? Was she groomed by this man? Or did she know very well what was going on from the very beginning?
The most important thing in working on jeunesse is relationships in jeunesse. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to the objective being met. I'm used to having like strict, hard, fast deadlines and lots of fear and punishment if I don't get it right. And in working for jeunesse, there isn't any of that. So it comes purely from a place of self-motivation and self-direction. And that is really difficult. But I would say that working for jeunesse is the most satisfying and purposeful thing I've ever done. Watching the women who are involved in jeunesse completely transform and evolve in a way that is so pure.
So, did she know what was going on then? Who knows? She's seeing the transformation of the women that she's recruited in jeunesse. Don't forget, these are recruitment videos. She's very convincing, isn't she? So let's say she does know, and let's face it, she probably did. She's an actress, and as I've told you a lot before, this is one of the most naturally gifted actors I have ever seen. She's putting on a performance. Look how natural she is. The way she looks, the way she moves her head. Everything she's saying sounds genuine. Well, it would have to, wouldn't it?
It's such a privilege, and really literally seeing people's lives path completely turn 180 degrees, where in one moment they really felt like this was all that they had and this was all that they could do, and then all of a sudden they come through jeunesse and they start working with us and in our community, and it's like a whole other life is born out of their new experience of themselves, and that's an incredibly satisfying and gratifying thing to do. I think it's challenging because I think jeunesse is an organization that looks to all participants to be 100% responsible for themselves and their lives. So it makes it hard to blame people for mistakes that are made when you're always looking at your own responsibility and participation in the situation. But that's just hard for my ego and my pride. I think if the whole world operated in that way, we'd have a much more joyful and a much more efficient.
Yes, if the whole world conned people into joining sex cults, Alison, the world would be a much better place. For you at least, anyway. This is why you can't trust any famous people. You don't know them. You don't know their motives. We hear them talking about equal opportunities, equality for women. They don't mean any of that. It's just a way into luring you in. And this is what all she's doing here is. It's greatly done. It's greatly directed. She looks, as I say, she looks so natural. But this is why you cannot trust these people. She's targeting weak young women with no confidence. She's luring them into a trap. And this is exactly what she did.
Existence. The amount of time we spend blaming one another is a little ridiculous. So working for Jeunesse is grounding and satisfying and humbling and wonderful. This next question is awesome. It's, if happiness was the national currency, what would make you rich? And I think the answer to that question is bringing together the people that I love the most in order to have a good experience somewhere doing something. I love like putting together dinner parties. I love traveling to the people. I love organizing spaces and experiences with the people that I care for.
You see, what's really clever about all of this? So you've got someone who used to be on television, a really successful television show. She played a really popular character, and you could see her there. She looks beautiful. She looks elegant. She's exuding confidence. And what you're projecting to the young women who haven't got that confidence is, I want to be like her. And if I go to this place, I could become like her. My whole life could change. Hey, I could join this organisation and I could meet Alison Mack. I could be like Alison Mack. It's the greatest con in the galaxy. These people knew exactly what they were doing, but not only had they got her involved, they had Kristen Krug, who played Lorna Lang in Smallville, involved, and they were going for more higher celebrities who just ignored them, thankfully.
For the most, that cultivate good relationships. And it's interesting because that's kind of what I do with Jeunesse, the women's organization that I work with. We use these tools and these structures in order to organize situations and circumstances for women to come together and create incredible relationships. So I guess I am kind of doing that. And then on top of that, performing. Like, I love to perform. Like can you tell? And I get to do that for a living, and I get to do that for money, and both things I do. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, this question's great. So when I first came in...
Well, you're just seeing a con unraveling. And it's so clever. It really is. You don't understand how popular this woman was. I remember, and I think I mentioned this to you guys before in another video, where on the season finale of Smallville, they actually had an advert of her, and all her fans were talking about how much they loved her. This person was extremely popular. She was extremely popular with me. I looked up to her. I looked up to her character. It was a brilliant character. It appealed to everyone, and she executed the performance so brilliantly. So if anyone was going to con a bunch of young women into joining a sex cult without them knowing it's a sex cult, it was Alison. And when I first heard this, I made the decision that I would kind of support her and, look above it. But the more I've heard about it, the more I just can't. She's going to go to jail. I mean, if she doesn't, it will be outrageous. They're talking about 40 years. I think she's going to get less than that. I think she's going to get maybe 2015. She won't serve that 20-15 years. Maybe 10, maybe 5 years, if that. And this is what happens when you have power and influence, everyone. You can get away with anything. Now, this is the final little clip, the recruitment video. Let's watch this and we'll talk about it.
To Jeunesse, I had just come out of a relationship and I was feeling very scared and lost and confused and like, oh my gosh, am I going to be single forever? Am I ever going to be able to have a relationship? What's wrong with me? Like, all this stuff. And very shortly into the program, I started to recognize and experience that what I was looking for wasn't about a relationship. What I was looking for was about an experience of myself in my life. And once I understand how to have that experience of myself in my life for me, I can then have the relationship I want or not, but I'm okay in either circumstance. And going through my life and going forward into my life from this place with that recognition, I feel like the possibilities are endless. And I feel like I have no fear in shooting for what I want. Ideally, there's no reason to settle because any way I look at it, I'm going to be good. That's awesome. So before Jeunesse, I had tons of people around me all the time. I've always been a people person. People used to come visit me in my house and say they were going to Camp Allison because it was like It was a party. Everywhere I went, it was a party. But I felt very lonely. And I didn't understand why. That didn't make sense to me. And I imagined the idea of like finding the most wonderful husband and then feeling intimate and, finding that one best friend and then feeling like at ease in my relationships, at least with just one person. I was just looking for one person. And I didn't understand why I couldn't get that. I was so good with people. I was so good in a living room, but I was so bad at intimacy. The format that the Jeunesse Tracks offers with the men and the women, and then this consolidated, very intense structure where you are just diving into yourself and understanding how you relate to other people, helped me to reveal all of these areas of insecurity, areas of just really basic confusion, or lack of attention, like things that I had just never thought about or looked at in myself. The Jeunesse Tracks helped me open up and see so that I could start to build a relationship with me and start to be honest with me, and then practice being honest with all the people in the tracks with me. And then that expanded out and out and out into the rest of my life. And now I have the most beautiful friendships with people that go so far beyond anything I could have imagined. And I have the most awesome experience with my family. And I can say with total truth that I look at men now and I'm not trying to find a future husband. And that is very freeing.
We are told
I just, you know what? It's just, it's gobsmacking to look at the gall of the woman, what she was doing. It was a super con. But I've said this before. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't trust celebrities. There might be really, really, really nice ones. Listen, you can't trust them. They will use your love. They will use the love you have for them, the admiration you have for them, to sucker you in, into buying the clotheslines they're advertising, or the creams they're advertising, or to support their friends in their careers. Now, that's not so bad, but it kind of is. But what you're seeing here is a woman conning other women into coming in to this women's group that's meant to free them and help them. But really, it's going to brand them. They're going to torture them. They're going to use them as sex slaves. One thing the women who joined this group should have asked is, why would a man be running this group? Why would a man care about helping women? Is he some kind of, higher power or something? Is he just so nice that he woke up one morning and said, I'm going to have a self-help group to help women? More like he wanted to help himself to these women. So yeah, welcome back. So now I've found another video on YouTube on the subject of Alison Mack, and this is Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor on Smallville. So he worked with Alison. He didn't know her that well, but here's him on a podcast talking about the Alison Mack situation.
A question for Michael Rosenbaum. I don't know if it's too touchy, but what's the deal on the set of Smallville, that show that used to be on with Alison Mack? Did you get the vibe or anything that she was into some freaky sex cult shit?
Oh, yeah.
Some crazy stuff.
Can you bring a picture up
What's
to
the vibe there? Was she weird? But was it just settled left field? Anyways, man, you're the man. Have a good day.
You know what's funny is I haven't responded to this.
Let me look at this. So Alison Mack is the girl. What was this thing called? I remember they busted a man who was running, who was using a group. Here, you go.
You know, it's funny because I've chosen not to talk about it only because it's shocking. And all I can say is this. When I was on that show, Alison was the sweetest, most professional. She was just a great girl, great actress. And, I remember, doing some self-help stuff. I remember she was a part of something, and it was different than it was now. But I remember her mentioning something. Oh, there's
Agape or
an
something?
organization or something. No.
There's always, because there's a lot of
It was
those.
some, whatever.
So this is interesting. So Michael here is saying that she was involved with another self-help group. Now he doesn't seem to know much about it, or maybe he's chosen not to kind of expand on it. But it looks like she was as part of another self-help group. So how many self-help groups does one person need to be a part of? Now this is a trail. This is a pattern, as an investigator would say with the FBI. She was involved with another self-help group, probably with someone else doing the same thing. So basically, you are talking about a very, very bad person. This is interesting, and I didn't remember this part when I first saw this video, but very interesting.
I didn't listen to it. I just remember thinking, oh, it sounds a little culty. I'm not. It's not for me. I don't know. And I just never thought about it. But it never. She never. Sorry, this is the first time I've actually talked about it. But I felt like it was such a shock to hear all these things. I just didn't believe it.
Right.
You know, it's like somebody said, "Hey, your brother killed somebody." You're like, "No, he didn't. I know my brother. He wouldn't kill anybody."
Right.
So
Very
to me,
bizarre.
seeing this, it's still, it's bizarre. It's like, I want to hear the whole story. I think's yet to come out, but I think a lot of the story is out there now. And I think it's just shocking and surprising. She was great. I just bumped into an old director from Smallville, and we looked at each other like, things happen in life, and you're like, you just don't have answers for it. And for me, it was like working with someone for 7 years. We didn't go out. We didn't like.
Did you ever ask her?
I was younger, so I hung out with Tom a little bit,
Mhm.
and I wasn't around
Who's
as
Tom?
much. Tom Welling, he was Superman. He was
Okay.
Clark Kent. So I hung out with him. So I really didn't hang out with Allison, but maybe a couple times throughout 7 years.
Was
So
there
we didn't
any-
know each other. We weren't close friends, but like there was always a mutual respect and a love there.
Did
Like-
you ever hit on her? Was there anything like that?
No, never. I never, with any of my co-stars, never would do that. Like,
Yeah.
shit where you eat. Although I had Shat where I at.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the past. I mean, there's when I was younger, I did a movie in Germany, and the girl and I, the actress and I, we kind of got together. It was a mistake, but then we became friends eventually, which those just never end well. So I never understand why people do that, because no matter what, if you're on a show, maybe a movie at the end, something because the movie's over, but a TV show, it's just bad idea, man.
Right.
It's just not good. So and the good thing is Annette O'Toole was like older than me and married, so that wasn't there. And Kristen and Allison were a lot younger than me.
Right. But that's attractive to a man. It's not like younger.
Yeah, but it was they felt like younger sisters.
Okay.
Because I was 25 and they were 18.
And what was her vibe like? I mean, was she like, you were 25 and they were 18? That's not insane at all. That's totally
No,
normal.
maybe I was 26.
Yeah, even if you're 36, that's not that
Look,
insane.
you know what it was? It was just like they're on the show, they're younger, I don't have as much in common. I like
Okay,
80s
so you don't have as
music
much
and
in
70s music. I'm partying at that time. They're like going to museums. They're smarter than I am.
Okay, so they're kind of nerdier?
They're maybe a little nerdier, but just maybe more intelligent.
Okay.
Although,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good way to put it.
But
Yeah, maybe more intelligent.
maybe more mature than I was, which is not hard to do.
Right.
So I just didn't go there. I thought it was a bad idea. Not to say I never talked to a guest star ever. If we became friends, but just never do anything on set.
Right.
Like later on, if you become friends and the guest star is over, and like, hey, I want to get coffee. We're
Right.
not working on the show anymore.
But in hindsight, like, are there any? Do you think you could see her? So could you see her like being and getting into something like that?
No, never. I thought she was just a girl, a nice person who just, she's like a lot of actresses or actors. Like, we want attention, we want approval, and she found something that she thought would probably, give her that, and I don't think that's what she was doing when I knew her.
Right.
I mean, this was years ago, but ultimately, inadvertently, she got into something that was bigger than her, and I'm hearing things like, she said supposedly that, it was manipulation, or it was like, she was, what's the word?
Coerced.
Stockholm syndrome type of stuff.
I think that who's to say what happened? I mean, I'm not a psychologist.
Yeah, nobody knows. We don't know.
I don't know. All I know is,
But we can-
it's shocking that it happened. Like, if you said, oh, Theo Vaughn killed someone, I'd be like, oh, yeah. Because I don't know you as well, and maybe you did kill someone, it's not shocking. But when you're,
Who is it?
what?
Who did I kill?
I mean, you could have killed someone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably could
I
have killed
didn't.
someone. You probably could have killed that girl, the African American woman who put their hand in your pocket in Brazil.
Oh yeah.
A neck punch is rough, dude.
It would have taken.
What am I watching here? Just talk about Alison Mack. This is nuts, isn't it? This is quite funny as well, though. I think this was purposely done. I think Michael wanted to address the subject. I love Michael. I think he's great on Twitter, on social media. He's a great guy. I absolutely adored what he did with Lex Luthor on Smallville. I've got a great deal of respect for this guy, and it's really amazing how openly he's talking about this, and he's not guarded about it at all. It's really refreshing.
In a while, they were throwing some very weak punches.
She could have killed you though.
Oh,
first.
Easily.
She probably could have.
And the crazy thing was, people around us in Brazil started like cheering, like betting on who was going to win.
Because we both had long hair.
Right, we were both outside. It was broad daylight. Nobody helped. People started literally.
I was scared.
Betting. I was extremely scared.
It's
I was
scary.
Walking in a foreign country by myself, and not even in like the best area. It was shady.
It would have affected my ego.
Yeah.
Like I would have thought, like, out of all these people, this woman thought I was weak enough to put her hand in my pocket.
Wow.
Gosh, I got to work out or something.
Well, you know what? Right after that, I went back on. Like I was on a cruise ship. I went back onto the cruise ship and stayed on there. I didn't go back out of the country.
That's a shame.
I felt like unwelcome. I felt just scared. I did feel like some of that kind of shit.
When something like that, when someone violates you, it ruins everything. I've been violated before.
And nobody helped. That was
That's
the thing.
just bad.
People were gambling on who's gonna fucking win.
People are gambling?
Yeah. And then also I remember this in Brazil. Somebody would come up to you and say,
I actually only saw this video yesterday, and I didn't realise they go off topic, but they do go back on topic very shortly. So we should continue watching it. It's kind of funny anyway, isn't it? So let's just watch this.
I have AIDS, right? It was a kid. I have AIDS. I'm going to bite you unless you give me money. That was.
I would have stayed on the ship.
Yeah.
It was a good call, Theo.
That was the AIDS bite trick.
You gotta
and
stay
chicks do that in nightclubs here in LA all the time, but it's like, this is like,
I'm gonna bite you.
I'm going to take a bite out of your wallet.
They're gonna take me to Mel's Diner for
Yeah.
a burger. I'm gonna bite you in my AIDS. Yeah, that's not good.
That
So
AIDS
that's
bite,
bad.
boy.
Yeah.
But, so you never saw anything like that with that? So you would never think that
Never.
that girl would be into something?
Never. I thought she'd be married with kids, and she was smart. She was, her family was into music and opera and stuff, and sort of upper class.
So how does that happen?
I don't know if you know what that means, but you look at her and you're like, oh, she's got her stuff together. She's not an idiot with her money, and I just never thought it. I don't think any of us thought.
So then how does that happen then?
I think that you don't ever really know someone. You don't ever really, really know someone. Like I could tell you my friend Tom of 32 years friendship. I promise you, he would never kill someone.
Yeah.
But that's because I've grown up with him since I'm 12 years old.
Right.
And I know him inside out.
Cutter?
No, that's Daniel
Cutter.
Cutter. Yeah. Tom Lally. Like I've seen his penis, not in a gay way.
No.
But we know each other. I've been in the hospital. He's taken care of me when I had back surgery. He's like,
Sounds
he
like more of almost getting in a gay way, taking care of.
No, he's just my best friend.
It sounds like Bridges of Madison County almost.
Man, maybe it does.
A little
I
bit.
apologize to the
My
audience.
bad.
No, but you're right. I should have stopped with the penis, and then
Just kind of
I
like,
didn't have to take care of me.
yeah.
With the penis
It's
right
like
after
we're
that.
like trying on scars.
Yeah, it
and
wasn't
stuff.
that good. Yeah,
Oh,
Peter's scars
everything's
going
so
everywhere. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Okay, so your friend Tom though.
I can tell you. So I'm going to change the way I'm going to do a Trump there. I'm going to change the wooden thing.
Mhm.
But I think that he wouldn't kill someone. I know him. But when you say Allison, would she do this? I didn't know Allison.
Right.
I probably, I'd see her once a week and I go, hey, what are you doing? How's your weekend? Great. It was this past weekend with Theo Vaughn. And that would be it. And I'd be like, oh my God, you had dinner? Oh, great. It would be the makeup trailer. It's like, what are you guys listening to? And that was it. I directed her in an episode. She was sweet as hell. And she's like, oh, I need to cry. Can you tell me that nice story about your grandma? And I would tell her the story and she'd cry and we'd roll camera and she was just sweet. She was nice. I didn't expect this. This is a curveball, but again, I didn't really know her.
Okay, well then how about this then did she seem like a sexual person at all? Because, some of the things that they got caught up in.
Jeez, you're going deep, man.
Well, no, I'm just curious about the psychology of some of this kind of stuff. Because this kind of stuff is, it's like, look, like for example, I will have people that will reach out to me, right? Like you might have chicks that are like porn stars, different types of stuff, reach out to you, or women that want to text you and get you involved. Like I used to have this girl that would invite me to like these orgies and stuff downtown.
Did you go?
No, I didn't go. But here's the thing. It's like, it would have just been, but I met up with her one time for coffee, right? So it would have so there's just a couple of, it could be a couple of weekends, it could be it could be a couple of you're only a few steps away sometimes from things that you don't think you would be in, right? But I think you would still some people would still have a vibe in them that would, that would match the current of whatever that is.
Yeah,
Do you feel like she had like a sexual type of vibe? Or do you feel like she was like some of these like incels now? There's people that are afraid of sunlight and are just lazy and aren't doing sex, or people that no one likes them, so they just say that no one wants them.
I think look.
Did she seem sexy? Did she seem sexy?
I mean, that's I thought of her as like a kid. I didn't look at her like that, but I just she was like everybody else. She was flirty. She was fun. She was nice. I didn't really see that side of her. I just didn't see it, but I didn't hang out with that. Right. But I will say this: I think that like for me, I'm a bit of a control freak in terms of like drugs and alcohol. Like,
right.
I have friends who get drunk and they're like, they shouldn't drink. And they get so hammered they don't remember things. I'm like, I don't want to be that person. Yeah. So I am always aware of what I'm doing. I don't put myself in precarious situations.
Right.
I just don't. I can sense bad things happening.
Yes.
It's a gift, but it's also, I hate myself because it's like,
it takes you out of the fun.
It takes me out of the fun, but like I'm running that cusp, but like I've always been like, I'm not going to that. Right. That doesn't look like it'd be fun. I'm not going to go into that place. That guy's looking at me. I'm going to walk out. I don't want to be, I'm just getting away from trouble.
Right.
So I always like, if some girl's a little bit like, let's not hammer, let's go back to when I was younger, I still remember going, nope, this girl's drunk and I don't know her and I'm not taking her back home.
Right.
I'm just not putting myself in that situation.
Yeah.
And I think there are people like that, and you're right, you miss out on fun, but you also take yourself out of dangerous situations.
Yeah.
And so I've always been that. So I know people who could do, like I've seen them. I'm like, good person, never would do this sober, never make this bad decision sober, drinking a little too much right now. If somebody doesn't keep an eye on that person, they can make a bad decision.
Wow.
And so I don't know, with her, I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I never saw her.
So you don't know if that was her.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, you were saying people could be on the cusp of like going down that way, but I know for me,
that's not you.
Well, I just know I could never think something that was happening in that was right and keep going down that.
Keep going down it.
Because I would think, oh my God, this seems a little dangerous. You better get arrested for this. If somebody found out, oh my God, this is bad. So
you couldn't keep going down that road unless what? Unless you had some of that in you.
Unless
you had some of that dark.
I don't even know if you had something in you unless you're easily, like you said, coerced, or like you were. Because what happened with the Manson family? They said they pleaded like what? That he did what? He
manipulated the people, I guess.
Yeah, like they were like, oh my God, we just did
Stockholm syndrome type of thing where he.
Yeah, they believed they were easily manipulated, like whatever. But they, and they said that was the excuse. I know that could never happen
to you,
to me, right? Because
Now, how old was she? She was young though.
That's what I'm saying. She was young.
And this man was older, apparently, that ran the thing. So now I could see that. Say a man comes along, he has a bunch of money. He has access to like a lot of. Fun, crazy stuff.
Maybe
he seems worldly. He seems like a leader of a group you believe in. Like I've been to these. I did orgasmic meditation where I'm driving around town and touching see older women's crotches as part of a club. And that's a real thing. And that's
really,
organized. Yeah.
What?
That's organized. And I met there's other celebrities in it, right? Like, and I don't mean other celebrities. There's celebrities in it, but it's like. There are a lot of different groups out here. There's a lot of people looking for connection, especially in Los Angeles. It's a very
especially in fucked up Los Angeles. Corrupt. They're all so corrupt. Don't get me wrong, I love Michael. He seems like a really stand-up guy. But what this guy's explaining just sums it all up. Basically, guys, to cut this video short, don't trust celebrities. Don't trust famous people. They are not your friends. They don't know you. What's the old saying? Don't talk to strangers. But you can talk to strangers. Just don't join their nutty groups, basically. That's all I'm trying to say. Be wary, be aware. See danger before it comes up behind you and smacks you on the head. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the next video.